Hey kids, welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 13, Painter Plus, Exercise number 2. We have a lot to do, so let's jump into the lesson. Kids, today's lesson really is about breaking down a large problem, like the last lesson, and solving it through several algorithms. What's today's problem? Well, today's problem is we have to create this pattern that we'll see down below. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's go ahead and see what we have to do today. Getting started, we're going to import our Painter Plus from Java. And just to make sure everybody is up to date, we are going to get a new copy. Then we're going to create the Pattern Painter class and a new Java file called painterpattern.java. That doesn't sound too bad. In Pattern Painter Java, we're going to import the neighborhood package we've been using. We're going to write the class header for the Pattern Painter class, which is a subclass of the Painter Plus. That means it will have access to our right turn and everything we've written in Painter Plus. Remember, don't forget to extend the Painter Plus class. We're going to write a constructor signature for the Painter Plus class. And then inside that constructor, we're going to call super to call the super class constructor. All stuff we've done before. Then we're going to write the method to create your pattern that you planned on your Pattern Painter handout. And the pattern I'm going to do is just this one here that our sprite is doing, and that is drawing these squares. So again, my pattern will be a lot like what you see up here, just squares moving around. But we got a couple things to solve for, and we'll talk about that as we get through the lesson. As always, we have a little show me how if we get stuck, but I think we can do this. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get a fresh copy of the Painter Plus. We're going to copy all of this. Control C. We're going to create a new file, and this is Painter Plus. We're going to create. We're going to highlight everything and then paste our file in. Don't forget to commit this. Painter Plus, and this is from Unit 1, Lesson 13. Well, let's go ahead and do the next one and create another class, Pattern Painter. First thing, we have to make sure we're importing the right package. So this little asterisk has to go. And we are importing the Painter class from above. Next, it says write the class header for the Pattern Painter class, which is a subclass of Painter Plus. How do we write that? Well, we need our public class. What is the name of our file? Pattern Painter. And it is a subclass or extends the Painter Plus class. Don't forget your curly braces, and I'm just going to put end right there so I know. That takes care of 3 and 4. Let's look at number 5, write a constructor signature. And that is just creating our objects. We're going to do public pattern painter. And then again, our curly braces down there. Inside that constructor, we have to call super because we need to call all those Painter Plus constructors. We just have to write super and don't forget your semicolon. That just leads us with our final part, and that's writing our method from our handout from class. Let's go ahead and look at our pseudocode. So really the first thing we want to do here is, just like my sprite is really paint, turn right, paint, turn right, paint, turn right, paint, turn right. And if you look at my pseudocode, it says I paint, move, turn right, paint, move, turn right, paint, move, turn right. That doesn't look too hard. Let's go ahead and start coding that. First thing I need to do is write public, and then the return type is going to be void. And this one is going to be called paint pattern. And much like we've done in other lessons, I am going to give this an argument that can be passed, and that is going to be a string or the color that I want the individual paints to be colored. Then we're going to do our curly Q and open it up. Next, we just need to do that pseudocode pattern I was talking about. We just need to paint and then color and then move and then turn right. And it can turn right because remember, Pattern Painter is a subclass of Painter Plus, which has that turn right method. That takes care of just one. I need to do this 4 times. So I'm going to go paint, color, and then we're going to move, and then turn right. 2 more. And just 1 more here. So what this code does is just what you see down here. We should paint, move, turn right, paint, move, turn right, paint, move, turn right, and that should paint 1 square. We are not going to test this in this lesson. This actually is going to be tested in the next one. Let's go ahead and hit run just to see if we got everything spelled right and our curly Q's are all where they should be. I didn't get any errors. I think that's everything that code.org wants for this lesson. Key takeaways for this lesson. Key takeaway, kids, are a couple of things. One is that idea of decomposition, taking this large problem and breaking it down into smaller subparts. That's what we did today. This giant pattern that's going to repeat, today we worked on just making this simple little square. The next lesson, we're going to work on moving that square or repeating that square over and over again. And then finally, repeating that square on different lines. Another important part of this lesson is remembering our hierarchy and inheritance rules. Just remember, a class can have 1 parent class, but it can have as many subclasses as you want. And we saw that here. Pattern Plus was a subclass of Painter Plus, and Painter Plus is a subclass of the Painter class. And through that hierarchy, Pattern Painter used the right turn method that we developed for Painter Plus. Looking at our code here, our Pattern Painter extended Painter Plus, so our parent class is Painter Plus here. Do not forget about lines 5 and 6. These are very important. Public Pattern Painter, that's the constructor to create a Pattern Painter object. And then the super in here calls all the Painter Plus constructors so we could use them. Down here, we just wrote a new method called paint pattern with a return type void. And this just created that block, just paint, move, turn right, and repeated that for 4 times. Well, I think that's all for this lesson, kids. As always, if you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next lesson. See you later, kids. Bye, bye, bye.